RONNA McDANIEL.
Your uncle ran for president, so did your grandpa.
My dad had run for attorney general, and I thought, I've got to go get into party politics.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. Donald Trump can't fix everything, but hot damn can he fix some of the things under his control, and the RNC is completely and totally under Donald Trump's control. Donald Trump is effectively the Republican Party. Donald Trump is winning by historic margins in Iowa and New Hampshire, and will go on a romp to win the first time in American history, first time in Republican Party history, all 50 states. That is what will happen. Doesn't matter what Nikki Haley has to chirp about it on SNL. That's what Donald Trump's going to do, and so Donald Trump is effectively the Republican Party at this moment. And that is why it is extremely heartening to see Donald Trump calling for change at the RNC. Trump meets with RONNA McDANIEL and then says he'll be recommending RNC changes. I'm sorry, I misspoke here. RONNA McRomney. It is important to remind everyone she is a Romney. That name has been sullied and salted and has been utterly cast out into the darkness in our party. She is a Romney. She's a known loser, a known grifter, and a wretched person, by the way. I just know this because I know a lot of people who work for her. Donald Trump met with RNC committee chairwoman, RONNA McRomney, Monday, one day after former president said he expects there to be changes at the RNC in a meeting which took place at Mar-a-Lago. Was confirmed by two people familiar with the discussion. After the meeting, Trump wrote a post on Truth Social that McDaniel was his friend, but said he'd be calling for changes to the committee following the South Carolina GOP primary on the 24th of February. RONNA is now head of the RNC. I'll be making a decision the day after the South Carolina primary on my recommendations for RNC growth. The RNC is, of course, broke as a joke. Trump handpicked McRomney to run the RNC shortly after the 2016 election victory. But the two have not been really close since. Top Republicans, meanwhile, have raised concerns about the party's finances heading into the general election. The RNC ended 2023 with just $8 million cash on hand, less than half as much as the Democratic National Committee, and they've been unable to raise any funds since. Holy smokes. What exactly has the RNC been spending their money on, by the way? Let's go ahead and check here. RONNA McRomney's RNC seeks a new line of credit to climb out of the money hole. So we're going to sit here and talk as a party about fiscal responsibility. And yet the RNC is spending $3 million on private jet services, $1.3 million on limousine chauffeur services, $17 million on donor mementos, $750,000 on floral arrangements, $80,000 on alcohol-related expenditures, and $400,000 on luxury entertainment. Does that sound like a political party that is interested in winning, or a slush fund for this wicked witch, this awful person in our party? God bless Donald Trump for finally coming out and saying it. Changes at the RNC must be made, and really the only guy who can truly call for it, there's one man on earth that could truly make this happen. Because RONNA McRomney was voted in a corrupt vote. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump saying, changes now.
Comerica says the Michigan GOP defaulted on a loan of $500,000.
So I have a lot of money. And the money that they get, people are not looking at the RNC. They want changes. You have to understand, I have nothing to do with the RNC. I'm separate.
How's RONNA McDANIEL doing?
I think she did great when she ran Michigan for me. I think she did okay initially in the RNC. I would say right now, there'll probably be some changes made.
Good. Thank God. Check out this article from Red State. Great reporting here. Analysis shows RNC spent millions on jets and limos and luxury retreats and Broadway shows. That's right. So Miss Karen over here, who's actually, without doubt, actually like a leftist liberal, and we can prove that, in fact, a metropolitan, feminist, leftist, suburban, screechy, mean intersectional feminist is what RONNA McRomney is. And she's awful. She's no better than her uncle, Mitt Romney. Ladies and gentlemen, upon taking the role at the RNC, RONNA McRomney went on CNN, went scurrying over to CNN. This is, by the way, a trend for RONNA McRomney to love running to corporate press and to spit whatever stupidity she has on camera. RONNA McRomney runs to CNN to talk smack about the number of white men that have preceded her in this role. Watch.
What do these pictures have in common? Let's see.
I don't know. Yeah, there is a familiar theme here. I'm very happy to add a feminine touch to this wall.
The Republican National Committee has a new face with a familiar name, RONNA McDANIEL.
Your uncle ran for president, so did your grandpa.
Yeah, and my mom ran for Senate, and my dad had run for Attorney General, and I thought, I've got to go get into party politics so I can figure out how to win and get some of my family members across the finish.
Yeah, so there you go. There's your intersectionality for you, okay? When Vivek Ramaswamy destroyed RONNA McDANIEL during the debate, in the open of the debate, calling on RONNA McRomney to resign live on stage to end the losing of the Republican Party, because the Republican Party has lost in 2018, lost in 2020, lost in 2022, and now continues to lose in all of the subsequent elections, all because of RONNA McRomney. So Vivek says, no, she needs to resign. Ladies and gentlemen, hot fire.
Let's speak the truth. I mean, since RONNA McDANIEL took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you.
In response to that, RONNA McRomney calls Vivek, trashes him, saying he won't get a cent from us. Well, you have no money to give anyway, lady. She trashed Vivek, called him an a-hole, saying he won't get a cent. He's a total a-hole, a total a-hole. He's desperate because he's doing bad in the polls. Mean girls. Despicable. Truly. She is a repulsive person, an absolutely awful individual. Nobody likes RONNA McRomney. In the worst interview I've ever heard a single human being give in American history, when asked to respond to Vivek calling for her to resign, RONNA McRomney decided to metaphorically light herself on fire, get onto a steaming train carrying flaming manure, and to fling herself into the Grand Canyon. In this interview on Laura Ingram's show. I mean, this is so cringe. Again, it is hard to even watch in the great expanse of a couple months. You know, this happened to go. It still makes your skin crawl to this day. Watch RONNA McRomney try and save herself and do even far more damage.
All right, joining me now, RONNA McDANIEL, chairwoman of the Republican National Committee. RONNA, thanks so much for being with us. Vivek and others are saying that under your leadership, Republicans have lost election after election, and positing the question, you know, why should you retain your job given the track record of the party under your leadership? And to that, what do you say?
Well, first, I'm going to continue to focus on Joe Biden and Democrats. And I think there was a moment missed during that debate by Vivek to talk about the fact that we still have 13 American hostages in Israel. The fact that for the first time ever in the history of either party, we had a Jewish co-sponsor for a debate, and we are in very perilous times in our country. And I do think Republican voters, and I hear this echoed all the time, are tired of the circular firing squad within our party. And they're saying, can we please talk about Joe Biden and the Democrats and the border and fentanyl and crime and what's happening to our kids and inflation? But I'll definitely defend my record as chair. Listen,
yeah, I mean, RONNA, I agree with you. Let me just say, I mean, all that you just said, I couldn't agree with more. But and you're right. I mean, obviously that should be a key focus. But I know you believe in accountability. You talk about it all the time. I mean, everyone. I mean, I'm accountable. So you're right.
Some accountability.
Okay, that's what I asked you, and you went into another, another
but I was going to go there. Sorry, I took too long on the answer, but I was getting there. I'm not trying to avoid anything. Let me promise you that, Laura. Listen, when Vivek didn't vote in 2016, I was leading Michigan to the first win in history in 30 years. In 2018, we defied the odds. We got 3 senators, people like Josh Hawley, that allowed President Trump to build the largest conservative majority on the Supreme Court. In 2022, the RNC, which is a turnout machine, right? We're not the messengers. We don't create the messages for the campaigns. Those are the consultants who get very well paid.
Well, one of the things, though, RONNA, that happened was, I think in Virginia, people were wondering where the money was, whether they were going to get some help from the RNC. And I know at one point you said that you were not asked for money in Virginia, but a Republican source familiar with the Youngkin team in Virginia told the Angle late tonight that is false. And meaning your story keeps changing. Anyone who thinks Virginia Republicans wouldn't want help when we knew we'd be outspent isn't being serious. Ronna, they were outspent by $8 million.
Glenn Youngkin and did a phenomenal job, and he raised a lot of money. A lot of people don't understand fundraising. I can't raise state dollars. I don't get unlimited convention and state dollars. And these were state House and state Senate races. The RNC is a federal committee. So, I mean, come on. Can you just, these are people who come after me all the time. They're on Twitter. They're all the time. And let's see their results. What did they do in Virginia? How much money did they give? But let me stand by something else. In 2022, we took back the House. And the RNC is part of that. We're building the road. And we're launching Bank Your Vote. We've got to do that.
Ronna, we got to roll, but thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot more to get to next.
So she is obviously the most unpopular GOP chair in my lifetime. Not even close. Like Michael Steele was the GOP chair for a while. This is a guy who's like an MSNBC commentator, like a straight up Democrat at this point. Next journalist interviewing Ronna McDaniel should ask her about this, the fact that it's been hundreds of days since Scott Presler asked Ronna McRomney for assistance. Look at this. This is Scott Presler. Every single day, Scott Presler asks, this is amazing, GOP chairwoman for a response. What are you doing to actually help win? Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Honest question. Should Ronna McRomney resign as GOP chairwoman? And of course, everyone says yes. Every single person in the comment section says yes, except for this person. It's Ronna's burner. How does Ronna McRomney still have a job? Fire Rhino Ronna now? Totally useless. Ronna McRomney should resign following tonight's general election results. She's done nothing to this day to secure our elections from voter fraud, registration fraud, and mail-in balloting fraud. Correct. Ronna McDaniel should probably just go ahead and resign. Correct. Look at everyone calling for the... You can't consistently fail at your job and keep the position, unless, of course, you're Ronna McRomney. Yes, Romneys literally fail somehow backwards, upwards. If Ronna McRomney is not fired from a role at RNC, then accountability is truly dead. You cannot consistently fail at your job. Something must be done. What exactly does Ronna McRomney do besides lose? She should resign, effective immediately. When will she be fired? The entire internet, man. Like, seriously. Trending. Republicans are calling for Ronna McRomney to resign following the election nightmare. Resign, trending on X. So, ladies and gentlemen, the verdict is clear. Nobody likes Ronna McRomney. I don't think even Ronna McRomney likes Ronna McRomney. And so it is worth noting that Donald Trump, on the right side of this issue, let us hasten the end of this primary process and get on with the business of actually having a proper political party to fight the Marxists, to fight the communists, to fight like this, the most perilous war our country's ever been in, and your fighter is a woman who actually quite literally hates the Republican Party. Not a great choice. But we can do better. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Vivek Ramaswamy for RNC chair? I don't know. Tucker Carlson for RNC chair? I don't know. Move the RNC out of DC. All of these things. I have so many suggestions. We'll do that in another video.